So you need your own proxy servers, maybe for web scraping, for managing multiple accounts, or just for privacy. But every proxy provider out there is charging you insane per IP or per gigabyte fees. And if you try to set one up yourself, you're staring at a terminal, configuring SSH tunnels, installing packages, and honestly, it's a nightmare if you've never done it before. Here is the thing. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own SOCKS5 and HTTPS proxy servers in under 2 minutes with zero technical knowledge. No terminal, no command line, just clicks. Here's exactly what we're going to cover. First, I'll explain how this actually works so you understand what's happening behind the scenes. Then, we'll set up a cloud account. I'll use Hetzner because it's the cheapest, but you can use any other cloud provider, even a custom VPS. After that, we'll create the proxies live, test them, and I'll show you a common mistake that trips up beginners so you don't waste your time. Let's get into it. Alright, so before we start clicking buttons, let me quickly explain what's actually happening here so this all makes sense. When you buy proxies from a provider like BrightData or Smart Proxy, you're paying a premium, sometimes dollars per IP per month. What they're actually doing is renting cheap cloud servers, installing proxy software on them, and reselling the access to you at a massive markup. Now, what if you could skip the middleman? What if you could rent those same cheap cloud servers yourself and turn them into proxies automatically? That's exactly what we're going to do. You bring your own cloud account or VPS, you pick how many proxies you want, and the tool handles everything. The server creation, the proxy software installation, the port configuration, the authentication, all of it, automatically. And the best part? You get both SOCKS5 and HTTPS proxies from every single server, so you're covered no matter what tool or browser you're using. Now let me show you the tool that makes all of this possible. The tool we're using is called ProxyHoster. You can see it right here on screen. ProxyHoster lets you connect your own cloud accounts, AWS, Google Cloud, Hetzner, Vultr, DigitalOcean, Linode, or even your own existing servers, and it turns them into fully configured proxy servers with one click. No coding, no terminal, no SSH. You just pick your provider, choose a location, set how many proxies you want, and hit create. That's it. It supports 6 cloud providers. Plus, you can bring any VPS or dedicated server you already own. And here's what I really like. You pay your cloud provider directly for the servers. ProxyHoster doesn't mark up your infrastructure costs. It's just a flat monthly fee for the platform. Unlimited proxy creations. Alright, so we're logged in. This is the dashboard. Clean, simple. You can see the sidebar. Home, cloud accounts, SSH keys, proxies, and billing. First thing we need to do is connect a cloud account. So let's click on cloud accounts and then add new. Now I'm going to use Hetzner for this tutorial because it's one of the cheapest providers out there, but the process is almost identical for AWS, Vultr, DigitalOcean, or any of the others. We give it a name. I'll just call it My Hetzner. Then we paste in our API key. If you don't know where to find your API key, ProxyHoster actually shows you instructions right here for each provider. It takes about 30 seconds. Done. Account connected. Now let's go to Proxies and click Create New Proxy. Alright, so here's the creation form. We select New Server because we want ProxyHoster to spin up fresh servers for us. We pick our cloud account, the Hetzner one we just added. Now we choose a location. I'll go with Nuremberg. Then instance size. I'll pick the smallest one. It's more than enough for proxies. Quantity. Let's create 2 proxies to start. And we select our SSH key. If you don't have one yet, just go to the SSH keys page and ProxyHoster will generate one for you automatically. You don't need to know what an SSH key is. It handles it. Now down here we have the proxy configuration. IP protocol. I'll keep it on IPv4 for this demo. The HTTP port and SOCKS5 port are pre-filled. And look at this. The proxy username and password are auto-generated for you. Strong, random credentials. You can change them if you want, but honestly, these are secure enough. And now we wait. You can see the job status right here. It says running. This usually takes about 30 to 60 seconds. ProxyHoster is creating the cloud servers, SSHing into them, installing the proxy software, configuring the ports, setting up authentication, all automatically. And there we go. Status success. 2 proxies created. Let's take a look. So here in the proxy table, you can see both proxies. Each one shows the cloud account, the credentials, the protocol. Notice we got both SOCKS5 and HTTPS for each server, the IP version, the location, and the server details. Now here's a nice touch. See this copy button? Click it and you get multiple formats. You can copy the format you need. So if you're using a browser extension, an automation tool, or any scraping software, you just paste this in and you're good to go. Alright, let's actually test these proxies to make sure they work. I'm going to open up a proxy checker. Let me paste in one of our SOCKS5 proxies. And there it is, connection successful. You can see the IP address is the Hetzner server we just created. Let me also test the HTTPS one real quick. Working perfectly. Both protocols, both proxies, fully functional. And we did all of this without touching a single line of code or opening a terminal. Now before you go, let me save you from the #1 mistake I see beginners make with this. When you delete a proxy, it only removes it from your dashboard. The actual cloud server is still running on your Hetzner or AWS account, and it will keep charging you. So always go to your cloud provider's console and delete the server manually when you're done with it. ProxyHoster shows you a warning about this when you hit delete, which I appreciate. So let's recap what we just did. We connected a cloud account, created 2 fully working SOCKS5 and HTTPS proxy servers, tested them, and the whole thing took us about 2 minutes. No coding, no terminal, no technical knowledge. And remember, you're paying cloud prices, not proxy prices. On Hetzner, a server can cost you a couple of euros a month. Compare that to what managed proxy providers charge per IP, and the savings are massive, especially if you need a lot of proxies. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel. And if you want more tutorials on proxies, web scraping, or automation, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.